Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach and welcome to a belated press conference. Sorry, it's taken a little bit to get around to this one. One of those weeks where you just think you're going to do it in the next hour and then something pops up and you just can't quite get to it. But it was an okay week. I mean, the rankings probably suggest not, but where are we, buddy? Let's go to the rankings. To slip down nearly 1,000 spots is really disappointing. I thought 2270 would be about plateau, like I would be able to not really gain but not really lose. My last 2 weeks I've really slipped out, and I suppose that's probably a combination of me having a couple of guys out injured, as well as, obviously the team isn't firing on all cylinders. And other people's teams are getting better. I'm trading too, but clearly, there are teams that are really starting to bump up around that 2,400 mark as a good score. And I'm really bleeding from the forward line and midfield rookies. Some of my rookies are just, really hurting. So let's have a look at how the side went. You couldn't fault the back line, all really good, particularly the two rookies. They're no questions asked about their output as rookies. Really good stuff. But look, Neil and Oliver really hurt, and Rockcliffe, again hurt himself, which was disappointing. It's just, you need those premiums, particularly premium mids, to be going nuts. And, another one, Boak, just the 77 points. I would have liked a bit more from him. I traded him in. But Kelly was great. Daniel really solid. I was able to loophole Grundy. My ruckmen were outstanding. O'Brien continues to be really, really solid. And look, Petrocelli again. Parker and Gibbons and these guys, they're capable of 60, 70 scores, but equally they throw in your 30s, and the same can be said for Petrocelli. So I've got to attend to that. But I think this week I've got to get in Jake Lloyd. He's got a break even at 77. And, I think it's probably going to be for maybe Dersma, or it's a tough one. That's like a long-term view of, wanting to get Lloyd at a good price. But the short-term view is probably to alleviate these poor scoring players. Now, one would imagine Petrocelli is already coming down in price and will continue to do so, with a break even of 71. So it's a tough call. It's a real tough call. There might be the option for me to downgrade Petrocelli, because I think eventually in that forward line I'll want to probably get Mundy and maybe Walters. Well, let's have a look. Who do I probably want? Probably Mundy. Dunkley's a guy who's just, again, Bevo would have been great to get a heads up, a little bit of insight, but that's fine. So he's really quite expensive, and so is Mundy. Walters is quite affordable at the minute, and I don't mind Jack Billings as a safe sort of F6. Don't mind him. One could mount the case for Rowan Marshall at a decent price. So I'll just have to see. I feel like Lloyd needs to come in, because I wanted to bring him in last week, but just a few zeros and stuff. But this might answer my question with Petrocelli, whether we got some rookies and stuff that might be viable. So I'm hoping Crouch comes back. I'm hoping Rockcliffe plays. What do we got? The old Hyphen scored a respectable 60. $17. No wonder you were going nuts, Slangers. I can understand. Jesus. Doesn't look like much. Could be that Coleman bloke. But, look, I'll just have to see. And again, I was talking like this last week, and then all hell breaks loose at the selection table, and you've got to do other things based off of that. But you know, put simply, I mean, I think Setterfield on field is not too bad, you know. And once Crouch comes back, you know, you've only got to field one of these guys. You can get a couple of cracks at it with an emergency loophole. You know, it's not as doom and gloom. You know, in essence, I could have premiums across, I'd have 5, 7, 2, and 5. Whether you want to call Rockcliffe a premium, totally up to you. You know, Oliver's numbers certainly aren't up to sort of midfield premium standard either. So we'll just have to wait and see. But look, we'll see what the selection table brings and the teams. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it's nice and smooth. But I'll be back soon, and I hope you had a good week. Cheers.